So we're building up to the 2027 general elections. Like I always say that, look, by this time next year, most political parties, if not all of the political parties, would have known who would be their flag bearer for the presidential elections that will be up the upper year in February 2027. We're already counting down. There are parties that are doing their realignments. There are individuals that are also doing alignments and realignments as we build up to the 2027 general elections. So we have with us via Zoom this morning, Shehu Abdullahi Wasagu is the Secretary, Social Democratic Party, SDP, Kebbi State. Good to have you, sir. Thank you so much for joining us. I don't know what you're... Okay, can you please unmute yourself, sir? If you will, please try as much as possible to unmute yourself. All right. So I was going to ask that what is your reading of what's going on across political parties? It does look like every political party is having a major issue. I mean, the other day we saw the Supreme Court give a judgment that even made matters worse in the Labour Party. We've seen PDP, almost in comatose. And even APC have their own issues too. I mean, do you think that there's ever going to be a coalition of opposition party agreeing to actually field one candidate that would match APC in 2027?
Well, that will be a little bit difficult situation, but what I am saying is the candidates that are vying for the presidential governorship, all of them have their own intention, plan, and what have you. So it will be difficult to have a single candidate before, that comes from different parties to merge as single candidate. I think that is the best decision to be done by the delegates. What I feel in a democratic setting is that everybody should have rights. So the best way is to allow everybody to participate. And the best way is to allow everybody to pick forms. There's nothing wrong in doing consensus or whatever. But the last option is primaries, which I felt is more democratic. People look at it as it may split the party as a result of somebody winning, somebody losing. But on a very good day, when you lose at primaries, you cannot blame yourself or anybody, but you blame the play role of the party. I mean, it is the delegate decision. It is the delegate are representing the people they are delegating for. So I think it is in the best interest. Now, having said that, when we choose to elect single candidate from consensus, from different parties right now, as we speak now, we have like Peter Obi, Atiku, Adebayo, and what have you, all in SDP. Now, if you pick one of them, those who are being left will go back to their roots and fight against you. So I think it is very wrong for a party or for them. But if they choose among themselves to nominate one of them, I think that is okay. But for the party, it will be very wrong to pick somebody. And that's why I prefer let the law take its course. Let the whole process be done democratically.
All right. I mean, there's a whole lot around these particular elections because, again, we've seen in this government, so many persons have said that it hasn't really done well. We are 2 years into this administration. We're counting another 2 years to the end of this first term of this administration. One would wonder whether really the opposition is ready to take the bull by the horn with what you're seeing. There must be some level of unity. In fact, Some persons say that if the opposition had even tried to unify in 2023, I mean, APC wouldn't have won that particular election. If you see the numbers of votes that other opposition parties gathered in 2023 elections. But going forward into 2027, I mean, as time passes on, it becomes even difficult to see any alignment. Don't you see that mistake playing out again in 2027 in places where you feel and see that that opposition refused to align in order, to go head on with the APC in 2027?
Well, as for the government of the day, this is the government that has already lost the itself. I mean, that fought itself. When you look at what is happening today, there's demonstration everywhere. The level of insecurity is increasing in every part of the country. So the economic hardship is getting more and more worse by the day. So the government has already, I don't think if there is any miracle that will make people to change their mind, because the common man on the street has already lose confidence in this government, and this is very obvious. So for the political parties, the opposition parties, it is a very great opportunity for them to come together. Like we in SDP, what we are seeing is anybody that is coming to us should purify himself and join us with our conditions, with our discipline, and leave whatever he learned from other parties. That's why we are not into this, what you call merger as but anybody that is leaving whatever party he was should join SDP as SDP oriented candidate. I mean, whatever, you can call them purified candidate, but you have to abide by our constitution, by our rules, by our system of governance. SDP is the only party that takes care of almost every issue in this country. We have a good representation. We have the leadership that is very courageous, that is very confident. We have a discipline in our dealings. So I think the best way is not just to come together as, this has happened to APC when they merge all other parties, and today this is the result of their merger. I mean, you can see the economy is getting out of hand. Somebody from AC, somebody from CPC, the current president is from AC, and this is the result of the merger, because when you bring different people with different ideas, with different perspective of things, you are likely to form a failure, and this is the result. So in SDP, what we prefer is somebody should join the SDP and be SDP member, not just a member, obey the rules and the guidelines of SDP. We run a party that starts its leadership from the grassroots, from the polling units, and we give emphasis and more respect to words and constituency. For example, if you are coming as a presidential candidate, we want you to go back to your ward and recognize your ward, because that is where you emerged from. So you respect your ward, you respect your leaders at the ward level, not just during the election, but even after winning the election, because our system will refer back every administrative policies from the party offices. Appointments and political appointees must come from the party office, not from the what they used to call cabals in the government, or the associate of governor after the winning election. So the party is the father and mother of the elected and appointed political appointees. So basically, you cannot just be doing things the way they are doing now. When you are elected, you just do whatever you feel like, not with or without the consent of your electorates. So this is what we plan, and this is what we are implementing. We have taken a very long time planning for the party, and we are going to implement it bit by bit. So it's very simple. We all know the right, we all know the wrongs. So our stand is to bring out the rights of every individual, irrespective of tribe, religion, and what have you. So this is our plan.
All right. There are people who think that SDP is already compromised, giving its antecedents. I mean, we understand the role of the party in 1993 presidential elections was eventually annulled. Some people think that the current president has some influence there, and it's already compromised even before the 2027 election, that all the move that is happening there is just basically to distract Nigerians from a true coalition.
Well, I think people are getting it wrong. Bola Ahmed Tinubu was a senator, was an elected senator during the former SDP. That was then. But the SDP we are having today is the SDP that was formed by Baba, the former SGF. And it is very wrong when you think everybody is just the way you are. You think everything can go wrong. But the fact is, we are Democrats. We have been there. We have been working. When they make their own alliance during the APC, we were not part of it. If Tinubu has control, he would have merged us. But it is not like that. So for today, we have been participating in all the elections across the country. And we are participating to win, not just to participate. Unfortunately, the system does not allow us to do so. And when we voted for President Adebayo, a lot of people are saying he's from Yoruba extraction, he's sent by Tinubu, and what have you. But it appears to be not to be true, because today there is no body that criticizes Tinubu reasonably more than Prince Adebayo in the whole of the country, including our politicians. He criticized him with rational points, and our national chairman made it clear that we are all out to clinch the leadership of this country. We are all out to take over the country from the wrong hands. So I think for somebody to think we are playing, we are compromising, is very wrong. I want to assure Nigerians, that in particular the people of Kebbi State, that we are here to change the narration. That is what we intended to. Being a member of the former SDP does not make him to be our leader. He is the president of the country. Sure, we will follow the rules and regulations to take over the country. But I can tell you, we will produce a candidate that will not only fight him, but will defeat him in the forthcoming 2027 election. We are all out for that. And I can tell you, from the grassroots up to the top, we are prepared and we are doing so. And it is very wrong when people choose to tarnish your image. They can go to any length. And even at your home, this can happen. If you are vying for a particular seat, somebody might choose the method of tarnishing your image in order to discourage people from having confidence in. So it's one of those things, but I can assure you, we are not joking. We are all out for that, and that is our intention.
Well, you have mentioned earlier that the coalition that brought APC to power, hasn't done well in the last few years that they have stayed on to power. We had the ACN, we had the AMPP, we had the CPC, and parts of ABBA, joining the party to form the APC in 2014, and they will go eventually to win the elections in 2015. I mean, is it not the same thing that SDP is trying to do? Because we understand that they are also talking to different political bigwigs. They are talking to Peter Obi, they're speaking to Atiku. El-Rufai has just joined. And it's even circumspect that El-Rufai was part of those who formed the APC in 2014. So having him in that fold for someone who supported Tinubu to power and now moving to the SDP, I mean, some persons will think through it. I mean, why would they want to come on to SDP knowing the antecedent of El-Rufai specifically and the role he has played? And now it does look like he's turned the saint going to the SDP to almost do the same, because he has called for Atiku, Peter Obi, and other persons to join the SDP to oust APC in 2027.
Well, Malam Nasir El-Rufai is a household name in his country, right from when he was a minister of FCT. He was known to be a very hardworking, a true Democrat. But sometimes when you happen to be a spare tire, you cannot actually bring out the best in you. So the fact that he joined us, we are more concerned with Malam Nasir, not what people think he is. He is a Democrat. That is right. And when you look at Peter Obi in the Southeast, he has done well as far as the Southeast is concerned as a governor. When you look at all these people, we welcome them in the party, not because they participated in forming APC that failed, no, because what they did in their own field, they have done incredibly well. You cannot run away from the fact that El-Rufai has done well as a governor in Kaduna State. Everybody knows that. We are regarding him as an asset. It's a popular name, and we will make him an SDP. That's why I said from the initial stage that he is coming to us, dropping all the bad things he learned in APC, and join us to bring out the better best of him. What I mean by better best of him is that we will give him chance, unlike what he had in the previous government. He never had better chance to practice what he learned. So anybody, like Peter Obi is coming from Labour Party, Atiku from PDP, what you will treat them is, we will purify them and make them SDP. SDP is a party that stands for social justice. So anybody that is running from councillor to the president will run his affairs basically on social justice. Social justice to all that you represent. So we are not afraid of anybody, if you are coming from zero party or whatever party, or even if you have not participated in any politics. But what we are saying is, when you join us, your bedrock is social justice. And that is how you will govern. You will govern, you will represent, you will do well, you will be with us, and we will be guiding you. In many cases, when you think of what I mean by we have the ESCO that run this party for a very long time. That's why anybody that is coming is going to work with our party ESCO. And we have the discipline to take care of any situation. It is very simple. Whenever the leadership, whenever people are being elected, they abandon the party and go on their own. This is one of the greatest mistakes of our present system. We in SDP, we are all out to implement the party programs in terms of governance. And if you look at APC, everywhere, everybody goes on his own. Look at how they are changing their leadership as if they are playing with a nursery student. I mean, when Tinubu come into power, the leadership was changed. Now, what have you? The former governor of Kano is the chairman. I wonder what process they went through to make him as a chairman. It has become a tradition. So many things are being brought in by PDP, which they will change anybody they like, the leadership at any time. Those in power, I mean, those that are elected. I will be wondering, when you join SDP, you are a son, and we are your parents. And I don't think a good son will go beyond his parents' control. So anybody that is with us is our son, and you have to be a son, and will assure you will be your parents. That will bring about justice in all in all stages of leadership.
I mean, that's part of the issue. I mean, APC promised that they are going to sanitize everybody coming from different parties to have the ideology, the APC ideology. And yeah, that's where we have come to. I mean, what is the difference? If you have the same people who moved from one party to another, coming to your party, and then you are promising us, just like what they promised us in 2014, and then they eventually got people to vote for them in 2015. I mean, what is the difference? Why do you think that SDP would be so fantastic and so powerful to be able to change the ideology of these people who are coming from different places and different parties to come and form a coalition on the platform of the SDP? Don't you think that SDP might implode even before the primaries for 2027?
No, you see, when you look at the reality, the merger was being formed not because there are people that are capable of running that. The merger is basically for Buhari. When you say APC, be realistic to yourself. APC means Buhari, because these people that come together, as Tinubu tried to bring Atiku during AC and fail, they realized that the only person you can present to fight Goodluck then was Buhari. So when Buhari take over the country, I mean, when they are forming when he take over the country, it is not the APC that is leading the country. It is Buhari alone. That's why he had cabal. So this is different. We in SDP, we don't have anybody but the party. So anybody that is coming into the party is coming to the party, not what APC did. When you look at what they thought, because when Buhari served as a military president, it was a government of high discipline system that works with principle of laws. Everything is law abiding. So everybody think the same Buhari will do the same thing. And this is the Buhari that has no idea wrong with him. Instead, he's having professor. So this is the whole thing. There was no guiding principle in running the affairs of APC specifically. It was basically rested on Buhari's influence and powers. So whatever they say, they just write it and keep it. Their constitution is Buhari. Whatever they tell you is written is not true, because when you look at the combination of people that come behind Buhari and supported him, that's why it does not take longer than we thought. Atiku had to leave because the system is not helping him. It's not working with him. So SDP is, like I said, is having a solid foundation. We have discipline, we have a sound constitution, and we are not looking at Baba Falai is not even in the party now. They are resting. So SDP at all levels are not looking at anybody as their role model or whatever you can call him. We are looking at ourselves as to lead ourselves under the democratic setting, government of the people, for the people, and by the people. That's why we are saying social justice is our main theme. So, like I said, Buhari is the only APC constitution. Whether you like it or not, they will deny. They will try to say no. But what they are looking at it is the Buhari that will purify you. It is Buhari that will make you free from corruption and what have you. Then what happened? Those that come behind him, those that make him up, are more corrupt than even the good luck regime. So unfortunately, this is what happened. But in SDP, it is the constitution, it is the party this thing that will party leaders that will come together with the elected members to run the affairs of the country. So no godfather. This is just the difference. And I want you to know, we have been doing this right from 2011. We are into this. We are doing this. When you look at our few elected members in some states and the senators, they are almost doing the same thing. When you look at our two senators in Nasarawa, if you go to their constituency and see what they are doing, you'll be surprised. Our state assembly, of recent, one of our members in Ekiti is doing very well in terms of harmonizing the dividends of democracy in his constituency. So the whole thing it's just like an injection. It is there running in your blood. So once they come in, I can tell you, within first 3 weeks of their registration, they will start expediting what they come with, and will inject them with new blood system. This is a guarantee, I assure you.
All right. I want to appreciate you really for giving us an insight into what's going on with the SDP. But I'm just thinking, on a final note, just in 1 minute if you can, what is SDP's mindsets as it relates to the North and the South dichotomy as to who takes the presidential tickets? Do you think that it's going to be a level playing field, or the sentiment will be for a Southerner over a Northerner, or a Northerner over a Southerner?
Well, I think what we are now considering in country is the sixth geopolitical. And when somebody is talking about South, West, North, I think he's missing the point. We have long ago forgot about this. We are more concerned with the geopolitical. As it is now, this country needs a competent leadership, irrespective of the geopolitical. So, in SDP, what we will look into is who is competent, who is capable, from which geopolitical. We should please, as a matter of consideration, forget about North and South, because the Constitution only recognizes the geopolitical. So what we are more concerned is competency. You can be from either any of the geopolitical. Once you are competent, that is what we need. In a very good thinking and on a very good direction, this country does not need a Southerner or a Northerner as a president. What we need is a competent, non-biased, presidential candidate or president. Because when we choose to center our system into the South and West, we have the good people in the South, we have the good in the North. So if we choose only South or North, we are missing the point, because in a good democratic setting, a region can continue to lead as long as they can produce president or leaders that can balance the system, that can be equitable, that can employ social justice to all and sundry. So we have discussed this, and we are still discussing.
Yeah.
All these candidates that are coming, I can assure you, we are picking them. Anybody that emerge, we are picking him based on competence, not geopolitical. I mean, it can be geopolitical, but competency first. So this is what we discussed, and this is what we are planning on. So anybody, because when you have a good leader, that's why we still call our past heroes, Awolowo, Sardauna, and this Tafawa Balewa, because you hardly remember Tafawa Balewa is from Bauchi. You hardly remember Olo is from Zungeru or Unewi, but you see him as a national. So this is what we are planning. We are producing whoever the country, the people of the country will look at him as our leader. Today
All
in
right.
the north, nobody sees Sardauna as Sokoto man. Any part of the country sees him as our leader. So this is our plan, and this is what we are going to work on.
All right. Shehu Abdullahi Wasagu, many thanks for your time. We truly appreciate you. He's the Secretary, the Social Democratic Party in Kebbi States. Thank you so much for your time. We truly appreciate it.
Signature TV, news in your pocket.